Hello, Ateneans! To ensure a smooth running webinar for both the speaker and the audience, please be reminded of these following house rules. Number 1. For the entire duration of the webinar, kindly turn off or mute your microphones to avoid interrupting the presenter. Number 2. Be on time. Once you have joined the Zoom session, please refrain from leaving and attend the entire duration of the webinar. Number 3. To raise your queries, you may type them in the chat box of the platform you are using. Kindly refrain from posting comments unrelated to the topic. Number 4. The moderator will be acknowledging your questions and directing them to our speakers during the open forum. Number 5. When participating in the open forum, be mindful of your background and your background noise. Number 6. We will be releasing the link of the evaluation form at the end of the webinar. Number 7. Please note that we will only be issuing e-certificates to those who have registered, confirmed attendance, and completely filled out the evaluation form. Number 8. Use your real name and follow the prescribed format for proper documentation, if any. Number 9. Unless you are permitted by the organizer, please do not record any part of the webinar. And number 10, please give us a week to prepare your e-certificate to be sent via email. Thank you and enjoy the webinar.
Athenians, welcome to your chosen alternative class program or ACP webinar or workshop this semester. Let me refresh your memory on what ACP is all about. The ACP is conducted every semester to provide the college students with formative opportunities outside of their regular classroom routine or daily schedule in support of the university's uniquely Jesuit educational goals. selected resource speakers from different fields of specialization are invited to share their knowledge, skills, inspire students to nurture their personal development, and partake in social advocacies or causes. For the third online ACP during this pandemic, we continue with the theme Cannonballs, Firing Up Dreams, Courage, Action. This theme is inspired by the conversion of Saint Ignatius of Loyola, founder of the Society of Jesus. Just as Saint Ignatius was hit by a cannonball which altered his life and drew him to a greater calling, this ACP hopes to light up the university's call for students to have dreams, discern on how these dreams contribute to one's personal improvement and the common good, muster courage, and find ways to accomplish these dreams. To do this, ACP offerings are carefully chosen to be relevant to the current times, formative, and mission-driven. The webinars and e-workshops hope to start a conversation on one's life in the pandemic, the changes and transitions, and important events like the national and local elections. The online sessions endeavor to facilitate personal and even community reflection and discernment. Who knows? These virtual activities could fire up meaningful cannonball moments in you, dear students. At the end of the webinars and e-workshops, the ACP hopes for the following objectives. First, acquire knowledge and/or skills that are relevant to one's interest, talent, skill, passion, and advocacy. Second, relate or share the learning and insight gained from the topic or activity in conversation or dialogue and personal reflection. Third, examine the importance of one's interest, talent, skill, passion, and advocacy to the development of the society. And fourth, seek ways or opportunities by which the gained knowledge and skills can be further advanced and used for the benefit of the immediate organization, community, or larger society.
Dream, have courage, take action. And don't forget to learn and have fun while we experience ACP Ateneans.
Mabuhay Atenista! Do you want to learn one of the easiest ways to create graphic designs and presentations using a very accessible and useful tool? If you are, then you have come to the perfect forum. And you have chosen the best ACP workshop for yourselves. Before we officially begin, may I ask everyone, how are you feeling today? Are you feeling excited about today's workshop? Or maybe you're feeling a bit sleepy kasi 3 o'clock tayo hanggang 5 p.m., di ba? So kahit ano pa man ang nafe-feel niyo ngayon, please do let me know how you feel today by typing in your disposition and feelings through the Mentimeter link flashed on the screen and posted in our chat box. So feelings check lang tayo, guys. Come on, let's all participate in this little Mentimeter exercise. So ayan, nasa chat box po ang ating Mentimeter link and the code is also included there. Ayan. So please click the www.menti.com and then input the code 47665615. Ayan. So to our tech team, meron na ba tayong answers dyan? Baka pwedeng i-flash na sa ating screen ang feelings ng ating mga participants. Ayan. So I can see na happy daw si participant. She or he is feeling fine, good. I feel sleepy. Nako, I feel you too. I feel sleepy also kasi 3 to 5 p.m. tayo. Pero siguradong mabubuhayan tayo later pag start ng ating workshop. Not feeling well. I hope mas mag-improve ang health mo. Sana hindi siya serious. Stress down ako. I can relate to that since pre-finals tayo and papunta na tayo sa finals. So talagang stress ay grabe, di ba? So ayan, may remind everyone lang to please mute your microphones as we proceed with the program. Ayan, sleepy, hype, yes. I love the energy, hype. Tired, excited, feeling hot because of the weather. Diyos ko, Lord. Yes, relate na relate talaga. Tired but excited. I love the vibe. So, ayan. Thank you for sharing your feelings for today. Thank you for your answers. Maraming salamat for letting us know how you feel at this very time. And hopefully, you continue to feel good. If not, naman, so much better and amazing after going through the workshop. So guys, take note. Papunta pa lang tayo sa exciting part. Kaya stay with us all throughout the event. Okay? So, now, without further ado, here we go. Magis morning, Ateneo. My name is Beatriz Mae Villanueva, and it is with great pride and honor to welcome all of you to this workshop entitled Easy Design Canva Workshop Part 2. All right. Before we proceed to the exciting part, please be reminded to turn off your microphone and remain muted unless requested to speak. We also encourage you to turn on your cameras if your internet connectivity permits you. We will have an open forum later after the talk proper. So, ayan. However, for your questions, you can now input them through the Google form link provided by our staff. So ayan, nakikita niyo sa chat box na nag-send na ng Google form link ang ating staff. So as early as now, you can input there your questions so we can facilitate them later. All right, so we are also live on the Adno Osas YouTube channel. So to our YouTube streamers, hello po sa inyong lahat. Please rest assured na kasali po kayo sa pwedeng mag-share ng inyong mga comments and questions. Just share them in the chat and we will try to address your queries later. All right. For our last reminder, we will be issuing e-certificates for this workshop. However, you need to stay throughout the event and accomplish the evaluation form that we will give at the latter part of the program. And yes, that's pretty much it. To formally start with our program, may I invite everyone to settle down, be in your most comfortable praying position, and ask for our Lord's intercession.
Prayer for pandemic and the forthcoming national and local elections to choose the national and local leaders of our country. Merciful and compassionate Father, we confess our sins and we humbly come to you to find forgiveness and life. We come to you in our need, begging to halt the current COVID-19 pandemic, healing for those afflicted, strength, courage, competence, compassion, and protection to health workers who care for them, eternal salvation and peace for those who died. And throughout this tribulation, may our families and communities be consoled and comforted by your merciful love. We pray that you guide the people tasked to find cures for this disease and to stem its transmission. Bless our efforts to use the medicine developed to end the pandemic in our country. We also pray that the forthcoming national and local elections may truly reflect your will, O Lord, who guides the destinies of nations. We beg you to deliver us, Lord, from coercion, intimidation, violence, and terrorism, from dishonesty, lies, and all distortion of truth, from bribery, graft, and all conspiracy for fraud, from gullibility to the deceptive and blindness of perspective, from threats, intimidation, and perverse language. Lord our God, we beg you to give us the grace of a discerning heart in choosing the next set of national and local leaders in the forthcoming elections. Let our conscience be our ultimate norm. Let the common good be our highest goal. Let human dignity be respected all the time. Let the poor and the weak always have the priority. Let the care for creation be our utmost priority. Let solidarity guide the path of peace and development. Let genuine fear of God and love of neighbors guide those who seek public office. Shepherd of souls and savior of the nations, politics is your gift to us, a call to serve others and grow in holiness. Guide our politics as you guide our lives. May our political engagement for voters and candidates bring glory to your loving name and help us grow in holiness. Grant all these through the intercession of Inat, our Blessed Mother, and our Lord Jesus Christ, your Son, who lives and reigns with you in the unity of the Holy Spirit, God, forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you so much for that heartfelt opening prayer. Thank you, Father Celerino Ignacio Reyes, SJ, for editing the prayer, and Jack Ivan Odal for the recording. Now we come to the exciting part of this event. Allow me to formally introduce our resource speaker for today. Our resource speaker is an empowered woman. She is a graduate of Bachelor of Arts in Communication, cum laude at the Ateneo de Naga University. In her college years, she was an active student leader of the Anduyog Junior Eagles, or the ANGE Club, where she served as internal vice president and in other capacities. She had several experiences in multimedia production from her years as a student until the present as a professional. These include the production of promotional materials for various events and organizations. In 2018, she spent her internship in ACCS Film Productions, Avant-Garde Creatives at Barangay Santa Monica, Novaliches, Quezon City. She was also a writer and photo contributor for the Bicol Eagles Journal of the Federation of the Philippine Eagle Clubs Incorporated, or the FPECI, from 2017 to 2020. Inspired by her Jesuit education and experiences in servant leadership and community engagements, she served as a formator of the College Ignatian Formation Program and National Service Training Program, or the CIFP and NSTP, of the Ateneo de Naga University from year 2019 to 2021. Because of her experiences in facilitation and skills in multimedia production, she has been invited a few times as a facilitator and or resource speaker by various schools in Naga City. Upholding magis and cura personalis, she continues to be a woman for and with others as she serves the vulnerable and marginalized sectors of society in her present career as a Project Development Officer 3 at the Program Management Bureau, Sectoral Programs Division, or the PMB, SPD of the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or the DSWD, Central Office at Batasan Complex, Quezon City. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce to all of you our speaker for today, Ms. Jennifer B. Gavarra. Let's give her a virtual round of applause.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to our dear participants. Thank you for the introduction earlier. And I welcome you all to our alternative class program entitled Easy Design Canva Workshop. So once again, I am Ma'am Jing, that's Jing, and I'm happy to be here with you for this alternative class program. So of course, I would like to thank our dear OSA, our Office of Student Affairs, headed by Sir Sunny. So thank you for inviting me once again to be your resource speaker for the ACP. It is always an honor for me to be with the students and of course to share and impart my knowledge and skills. So I'm always happy to learn with the students. Okay, so of course, to start with the ACP, let me give you a brief overview of what will happen for this entire session. So a rundown of the topics that we will be talking about. And as you can see here, we'll not start with Canva itself, okay? So before we look into Canva, we have to know first the context as to why there is a need to use Canva effectively and properly, okay? So bakit kailangan gamitin yung Canva ng maayos? Okay, this has something to do with communication. Particularly, that's visual communication. So we'll talk about that, and after understanding visual communication, we can now go into Canva. Okay, Canva as a design platform. So we'll look at the history of Canva, we'll look at the features of Canva, And then we'll be exploring Canva. Later, let's have a demonstration how to edit with Canva, how to share our designs with other Canva users. Okay? And then after that, I'll share with you some of the tips that you may use in order to make your designs better. So that's 6 tips, okay, for all of you. And then to apply our knowledge gained from the workshop, we'll have a simple activity. So that's about, let's say, 20 minutes. Okay, it's a group activity, and the ASA staff will be helping me to divide the entire participants into groups later on. So, simple activity lang po siya. And then, once you're done with the activity, of course, we'll be asking a few participants to share their outputs to the entire body. And then, if you have questions later on, I can entertain them in our open forum. Okay? So, ayan yung ating magiging flow for this workshop. So, I'm excited to start the workshop. Okay, so I've mentioned earlier that before we look into Canva, we have first to understand the reason or the context as to why we need to use Canva properly and effectively. So, if I were to ask you now, why do you use Canva on the first place? Do you use Canva forms? Do you use Canva because for you, the designs or the elements used in Canva are more aesthetically beautiful? Or do you use Canva because it's more accessible since it's online? We may not notice it, but the main reason why we use Canva or any other platform is that we actually want to effectively communicate a message to a greater audience. Okay? Let me highlight that Canva is only one of the many platforms or tools that we can use to communicate a message. It all depends on how you want to communicate that message. Okay? On how, sa paanong paraan mo gustong i-communicate yung message na yon. Okay? And we actually have different types of communication. Okay, depending on the channel or the medium used or the product of the communication. But I would like to highlight on 4 types of communication, okay, before we go into Canva. Okay, so these 4 types of communication are verbal communication, non-verbal communication, written communication, and most importantly, visual communication. So saan kaya papasok yung Canva doon? Okay? So, isa-isayin natin yung types of communication. The first type of communication is the verbal communication. From the term itself, verbal. Okay, so, we use language and speech in order to convey a message. And how do we do that? We do that by speaking. Okay? By explaining, okay, our message to someone. So, when you speak, you are the sender of the message, and you send that to a receiver. Okay? A receiver is someone who receives the message that you are conveying. Okay? So, as simple as that. So, verbal communication is literally speaking to an audience. Okay? That's how verbal communication works. Okay? Do not want to discuss that further since it's easy to understand. Let's go to the second type of communication. Okay? The second type is non-verbal. Okay? Non-verbal because we do not use words or speech or language to communicate a message. Instead, what we use are body language, facial expressions, and gestures. Okay? So, communication na pala yun, ma'am. Yung simpleng pag ganito ko lang, pag thumbs up ko is already a communication. Yes. Okay? That's non-verbal because kahit hindi na natin sabihin na this is thumbs up means good or thumbs up means yes, okay, we already have a context or an idea what it means. Okay? So be very careful because your actions, your gestures, your facial expressions, these are also conveying a message. So minsan nagkakaroon ng mga interpretation or misunderstanding kasi iba yung sinasabi ng bibig sa nagiging actions. 'Di ba? Okay, so be very consistent with your verbal communication and non-verbal communication because it can be confusing sometimes. Okay? We also have written communication. Okay? Although we also use words, we use letters, okay? We use symbols, but we do not speak it or we do not say it. We only write it down. Okay? This is the paper and pen type of communication. Okay? But since we are more modern nowadays, we also have written communication. It's called written communication, pero we use email. Okay, we use text message or SMS. That's also written communication. But again, written communication is using or writing, typing, or printing words, letters, numbers, or symbols in order to communicate your message. Okay? So kung hindi mo siya sasabihin, kung hindi mo siya gagawin, isusulat mo siya at ipiprint mo siya or itatype mo siya. That's written communication. Okay? And then the last one that I would like to highlight is the visual communication. When we say visual communication, we use images, drawings, arts, charts, or graphs in order to communicate a message. So kung minsan, masyadong mahaba yung sinasabi ng speaker, 'di ba? Minsan hindi na natin naiintindihan. Okay? Sa sobrang haba ng sinabi, parang mahirap na mag-pinpoint ng mga important details doon. So what we do is we highlight visual communication. Paano yung visual communication? 'Di ba? When we report in class, okay? When we have our reporting in our class, we usually have visual aids. Okay? Yung visual aids, this is our way of catching the attention. Iba, di naman talaga entirely nakikinig, yung iba, tumitingin lang. So visually, you have to catch the attention of your audience. So we use visual aids. Yung visual aid natin, that's considered as visual communication. Kaya visual kasi nakikita. Okay? It's actually conveying the information that you want to tell the audience aside dun sa verbal. Okay? You put it into one graph. Okay? For example, isang statistics. Okay? Mas madaling maintindihan yung statistics, yung population, for example, kung ipapakita mo sa isang graph. Diba? Instead of just sharing it verbally, okay, to your audience. Okay? At dito, sa visual communication, papasok yung Canva natin. Okay? Sa paanong paraan. Okay? I would like to highlight visual communication. As I mentioned, visual communication, aside from the verbal or the written communication that we have, in support to all of that, we add on a visual aid. Okay? Visual aid that we use to highlight important things sa sinasabi natin or sa message na gusto nating i-share. Okay? And in visual communication, we actually have two products. Okay? Two main products of visual communication. These two products of visual communication are visual storytelling and information visualization. When we say visual storytelling, from the term storytelling, okay, it means you are providing your audience with full narrative, okay, through visual content. That means you're taking your audience from the beginning, middle, and till the end through visual content. Okay, for example, dito sa image natin, sa presentation, you have your photo album or perhaps a storybook, a children's storybook. Diba? Children would understand the content of the book better if there are more images in the book. Even us, nung bata pa tayo, we would appreciate the story if there are more pictures in the book. Okay, what are these pictures for? It's for us to visualize, okay, the scenes That's the scenes that are happening in the story. Okay, lalo na for kids, medyo mahirap pa sa kanila intindihin yung content ng isang bagay kung babasahin lang. Okay, kailangan pa nila i-improve yung comprehension nila. So what we do to get their attention and for them to understand the content better is to have images, pictures. Okay, so that's visual storytelling. The second one is information visualization. This is more for heavy information. Okay, so when we say information visualization, it means you are presenting an information in a visual way. Like I've mentioned earlier, an example is, for instance, a statistics of the population. Okay, since that statistics would have many numbers, okay, at nakakahilo kapag maraming numbers, it's hard for us to interpret it. Okay, so para mas maintindihan ng audience mo, kung hindi statistician ang isang audience at isa lang siyang ordinaryong tao, wala siyang background sa statistics, para maintindihan niya, you have to create a graph or a chart. Okay, so sa unang tingin pa lang sa graph, sa chart, ay for 2022 pala tumaas yung population natin. Okay, that's information visualization. Okay, so you inform or your information is presented through a visual way. Now, dito na papasok yung role ng Canva. So when we want to present something in a visual way, either we want to tell a story or we want to present an information visually to our audience, we use different platforms or tools to create a visual material. Okay, so some of these platforms are familiar to you. These I'm presenting are mostly the platforms that I have personally used, but there are many. Okay, these are only a few. Now, many platforms that you can use to create your visual material. Isa na doon, of course, Canva, na later i-highlight natin. We also have Adobe Photoshop, Adobe InDesign, Adobe Illustrator. Yung Canva kasi, it's a visual design, graphic design platform which is friendly, friendlier to use compared doon sa mga Adobe products or Adobe software or programs. Okay, so even a student without a background in designing can use Canva. It's more accessible and it's friendly to users compared sa Photoshop, InDesign, and Illustrator. So I'm sure you've heard of Photoshop. So where you edit your photos, your images, and so on and so forth. Medyo technically, if you would look at the Photoshop, it's difficult to understand the software. So kailangan mo siyang pag-aralan ng mabuti para mas maintindihan. Same with InDesign. InDesign is a software or a program that we can use to design materials such as flyers, such as posters, okay, or mag-layout ng isang book. Okay, pwedeng gamitin yung InDesign. Adobe Illustrator naman, this is used to create logos, okay, graphics or logos. So, yung Adobe products kasi, these are mainly used by professionals. Okay, so kapag mas sanay ka na, okay, at you are into higher level of editing, so you use the Adobe Photoshop, InDesign, and Illustrator. But if you are just starting, you're a starter editor or designer, Canva is suitable for you. Okay, as I mentioned, these are only a few of the many platforms or tools that you can use to create your visual materials, okay, to communicate visually. Okay, so let me highlight Canva. So I'm sure many of you have heard what Canva is, and kaya nga kayo nag-sign up sa ACP na to know Canva better. Okay, so to introduce us a bit about Canva, I'll be sharing with you a video. It's entitled Introducing Canva by Canva. Okay, galing sa Canva ito. And I would like to highlight these three people, no, presented on the screen. So, sino kaya itong tatlong taong ito at ano ang role nila sa Canva? Okay? So, for us to find out, let's all watch this.
Graphic design has changed. It's gone from this to this, and it's still not easy. But these Aussies are here to fix design. Starting out in Mel's family living room, then the garage, they never gave up on their mission to empower everyone to design. And so, Canva was born. It made design simple, and it took off big time. Every day, over 4 million designs are made by people unleashing their creativity, from students with opinions to moms with a side hustle.
Ooh, that's nice.
To those crushing it at work. And the designers, they love us too. Don't you?
Sure, I use Canva. I mean, it's free. There are millions of premium photos and videos, over 70,000 professional templates to get you started, or you can make your own from scratch. It's so easy. Non-designers can do it.
Non-designers, like Margot.
Wow, Margot. You must have a lot of time in your hands.
She doesn't. We believe in design for everyone, but don't take it from us. Take it from some of the 20 million people that use Canva every month. This is Mel, Cliff, and Cam, and this is Canva. Create a free account today at canva.com.
Okay, so that's a bit about Canva. Ngayon, alam niyo na kung sino yung tatlong taong tinutukoy ko kanina. Pero mamaya, I'll still share with you a brief history of how Canva started. Okay, but for now, let me highlight again that Canva is a graphic design platform that we use to design our posters, infographics, presentations, etc., etc. Okay? Other visual materials or documents. Ngayon, they also have the motion graphics, okay, or videos. Before, I'm not sure if they already have it, but in the updated version of Canva, they already have the videos. Okay, so you can also edit your videos in Canva, not just stills. Okay, pati motion graphics na rin. Okay, so how do we edit in Canva? We edit using a drag and drop design tools. Okay, so bakit siya tinawag na drag and drop design tools? Because we literally just drag something and drop it on our workspace. Ayan yung mga dinadrag. These are stock photos, elements, designs, okay, from lines, from shapes, from pictures, and the fonts, and so on and so forth. Everything is there in Canva already. Okay, you just have to, again, literally drag it and then use the power of your creativity on how you will create one output. Okay? So, lahat nandun na. All the needed materials are there. But it's still up to you. You can upload different photos na wala sa Canva kung hindi nyo bet, di ba, yung nandoon. So, you can upload photos from your desktop or from other sites if you would like. Okay? So, you drag and drop all of this on your workspace. Okay? So, there are hundreds of templates in Canva. Pero it differs when you are using a free account or a pro account. Okay, later I'll explain the difference. Okay, so a brief background or history of Canva. So Canva was founded on January 1, 2013 in Australia, specifically in Perth, Australia, if I pronounce it right. Okay, so the founders are Melanie, Clifford, and Cameron. Okay, according to Miss Melanie Perkins, when Canva started, she was rejected several times, hundreds of times, bago siya maging popular na as it is today. Okay, so imagine being rejected hundreds of times because maybe people did not believe in the power of Canva. Okay, but actually, Miss Melanie was inspired in creating Canva from her experience in college, in the university. Okay, so Miss Melanie is actually, she has a background in communications. So yun yung degree niya when she was studying in college. And that time, while studying, she was also a private tutor. Okay? A part-time or a private tutor of students who would like to design or who would like to create design materials. Okay, so, nag-tutor siya paano gumamit ng Adobe Photoshop. Okay? So, that time, Adobe Photoshop was the usual design platform that people use. And because of that experience, Melanie was able to observe that some students, well, most of the students, especially non-designers, okay, have difficulties in using the Photoshop, okay, Adobe Photoshop. Kasi talaga naman, no, kahit ako, hindi pa ako master, no, sa paggamit ng Photoshop. So, it's very complicated. So, she was able to realize maybe there is a way for anyone, no, and everyone to design. So, na-realize na yon. Sana merong platform for that. Okay? And then, no, because of that, she has thought of having a business, no, of opening a business that would cater to audience who are non-designers, na friendly sa lahat. Okay? Gagawa siya ng platform, so that's her business. Gagawa siya ng platform para lahat, no, kahit hindi designer, wala kang background sa editing or sa designing, you can also create beautiful outputs or beautiful visual materials. Okay, that was when Canva was born. So it started with Melanie and Cliff that time. And then nag-add on na lang si Cameron, si Cam, because Cameron is a former employee of Google. So his expertise, no, in the technical aspect was much important, okay, in developing Canva. Okay, so silang tatlo yung founders ng Canva. So we owe it all to them. So salamat Melanie, Cliff, and Cam for creating Canva. Okay, so the location, no, yung main headquarter ng ating Canva, no, the company is actually located at Australia, no, in the entire world. Meron po sa Pilipinas, 'di ba? We have the Canva Philippines. We also have in China and other parts of the country. Actually, ang alam ko in the Canva Philippines, they are hiring. Okay? So in case some of you here might want to mag-reflect kayo at gusto nyong mag-work sa Canva, then you are free, di ba? To join their beautiful team. Okay, Canva is, I believe, located at BGC. Okay, doon yung kanilang office. So again, in the future, maybe you'd like to apply there, di ba? Napaka-inspiring at maganda naman, I believe, yung community ng Canva. Okay, so you'll be exposed to different creators, designers, okay? At malay natin, maging magaling na designer din kayo in the future. Okay? So, yun. And this data was back in 2020, but there are over 136 million, okay, users of Canva around the world. Okay, but that's 2020. Sigurado ako nadagdagan na yung users ng Canva ngayon na 2022. Okay? Lalo na we have the online classes already. So nag-switch na to online mode of learning ang mga students. So of course, Canva opened the Canva for Education, specifically for learners, having on is to empower. Okay, empower everyone in the world to design anything and publish anywhere. Para sa akin, they are achieving that mission. Okay? How about you? Sa tingin nyo, me. So you can open your Canva account and then log in so that in the demonstration you can also follow. Okay? So we will now be exploring the insides of Canva. So what are the features of Canva? How can we design using Canva? How can we share our design with other people? Okay? Okay. So when you start Canva or when you go to canva.com, and especially if you do not yet have an account, this will pop out. Okay, so you will have to log in first, usually. So I prefer logging in with my Google email. Okay, here I used my work email. Okay, kung wala pa kayong Canva account, you can start making one. Okay, so you just have to input your email there. And then the first thing that Canva will do is it will ask you, what are you using Canva, or why are you using Canva for? Okay, so what are you here to do? According dito. So there are options. So to teach my class, start or grow my business, create documents for work, plan and promote events, etc., etc. So my question dyan, at you have to answer it honestly, because bakit nagatanong si Canva nito? This is Canva's way of assessing the possible templates that they can suggest for you. For example, choose their to do my class work. Okay, your assignment in class. So basically, Canva will feed you or will share with you templates or elements or designs for school. Okay? So doon niya titignan kung ano yung dapat na templates na ma-filter para sa'yo. But all of these are available. Minsan kasi may sinasuggest si Canva na magandang templates or design. So para mas madali sa'yong mag-create ng iyong material. Okay? So once that's good, Canva will also ask if you would like a free account or a Canva Pro account. Okay? Na-mention ko to kanina. So here I'm using free account only. Okay? But again, you can try to use the Canva Pro. Although, yun lang po, may bayad po yung Canva Pro. Okay? Yung free account, you're also exposed to many templates. So, according to this one, you have unlimited premium templates to choose from. Okay, pero marami pa rin yung 500,000, di ba? Okay, so dun tayo sa free. Okay, pero again, it's your choice if you want to have the pro. Okay, you have different design types sa free, pero sa pro, mas marami yung photos and videos kayong ma-access, and some features are not available in the free account. Okay, so if you're using it for professional use, I would suggest you go with the Pro. And eto lang, sa storage aspect, mas of course limited or mas unlimited ang storage sa Pro account. So kapag free, you only have 5 GB cloud storage. Okay? So mag-reflect kung ano yung account na gusto nyo. So for now, you may opt to choose the free account since we are just, of course, if you are just starting with Canva. Okay, so once you're done there, if you go to Canva, this will appear. So this is the Canva home page. Okay, so there are many things happening there already. As I've said, there are already suggestions for you. Diba? May nakalagay dyan na for you. Okay, so if you would like to explore on your own, you may. Okay, so tignan natin isa-isa yung features ng Canva. Let's go with the upper part first of your Canva. Just follow with me. Okay, so the upper left part of Canva, of course, you will see there the logo of Canva, and this is, I think, the menu. Diba? Menu bar, we have that menu bar. And nakikita natin dyan yung home, templates, features, learn, pricing. Tapos sa right side, other buttons. So dun muna tayo sa left side. Okay? When you click home, again, that's your home page. When you go to templates, ayun. So you will see here a lot of suggested templates. Templates for social media, for personal use, for business, for marketing, for education, and what's trending, and so on and so forth. Okay? Hindi na natin ito matitignan isa-isa, but you can explore on your own. So, nandyan yung mga templates for invitations, for Instagram stories, for Facebook covers, for logos, if you're promoting a brand or a business. You also have your template for worksheets, template for classroom kits, and videos, YouTube intros, etc., etc. It is all there. Diba? Nakaka-overwhelm yung rami ng template that you have to choose from. Okay? So, the next one is the features. Okay? So, ano yung mga feature ng Canva? So, there are a lot of photos, no, stock library for photos, icons, or vectors. Actually, they also have print products. Lately ko lang nalaman that they have print products actually. Yun. So, print products, they can coordinate or they collaborate with different apps. Okay? And yan, nandyan yung explore and download. So, again, you just have to explore this on your own because it will take too much time for us to discuss this. Next one is the learn option. This I recommend that you avail. Okay? Nandyan yung learn option na yan for you to use. So here in the learn option, you will see their courses, tutorials, and blog. Okay? If you're a starting designer, if you're the first-time designer of Canva or first-time user of Canva, dito mo makikita yung mga tutorials on how to edit, how to open Canva for the first time, how to share your design with other users, and so on and so forth. Okay? So this is very helpful for starting users. And aside from here, no, dito sa Canva mismo, meron din pong YouTube channel yung Canva. Okay? Doon makakakuha din po kayo ng videos if the videos or the tutorials here are not enough. Dun sa YouTube, marami. Okay? You just have to go to the official YouTube channel of Canva. Okay? So, mabobombard kayo dun sa mafaflood kayo ng sobrang daming videos to choose from. Okay? So, the next one is the pricing. So for those who are using the Pro account, Canva Pro account, hindi nyo dyan makikita yung pricing. Yung pricing is only seen when you are using the free account. So bakit meron dyan pricing? This is to promote, of course, Canva Pro. Okay, so if you're using your free account, you have there an overview, okay, on the pricing, no, kung paano yung sistema, yung monthly na payment for Canva Pro, for Canva for education, for enterprise, and so on and so forth. Okay? Again, it's up to you if you would like to use the Pro. Ayan. Okay, so balik tayo dun sa homepage. On the the left part, again, if you click the 3 lines sa katabi ng ating Canva logo, you will see there a panel. Okay, nandyan yung inyong profile. Okay, may suggestion to try Canva Pro. And then your homepage. And then a folder. Okay, yung first folder dyan is your project. So these are the designs that you have created in the past. So it's easier for you to locate them kasi nandyan siya sa folder. You can create subfolders if you'd like your account to be more organized. Okay? So, dito lang sa akin, wala pa akong inilagay dyan. Because I've opened this for, of course, for the sake of the workshop. Okay? So, nandyan yun sa your projects. Meron din pong shared with you. So, these are the designs or the project shared with you. Okay? Shared by other Canva users. Okay? Okay? And for this one, I would like to highlight no, kung paano mag-share ng design later on. Okay, babalikan natin yan. Okay? So this is where you will see the shared projects. And then for the trash, dito sa trash, deleted items or projects are seen here. Just make sure that when you delete your projects, talagang hindi nyo na siya gagamitin. Okay? Kasi hindi nyo na siya ma-retrieve. Okay? But, no, you can choose to download it before you delete it para may copy kayo. So, nasa PC ninyo yung inyong project or inyong material. So, just note that everything that will be part of the trash, it will stay there for 30 days. Okay, first. 30 days muna, may 30 days kayo kung mag-reflect kung gusto nyo bang i-delete talaga yung project na yun o hindi. Okay, so pwede nyo siya i-restore or you can delete it permanently. Okay, but again, I would suggest that you save it in your PC para may backup kayo in case that no, sentimental sa'yo yung project, yung nagawa mong output, so you'd like to go back to that. Okay? Ayun. Okay, this is the create a team, okay, option. So when you press that button, so you will automatically be asked to create a team. So on my part, since I'm using my email account or email for DSWD, okay, may suggestion si Canva to create a team named DSWD. So lahat ng email with the DSWD can join this team. Okay, so you have there an option that anyone at your domain can join the team. Okay, so it's up to you if you'd like to create the team or not. Aside from the create a team, you also have their other tools, your Discover app. So other apps that you can, I have not explored this yet, but other apps that you can look into that can be used in Canva. You have there the brand kit. So this is for pro account. So the brand kit, if you want to design, let's say you have a business and you want to design a logo, it's easier for you to design it when you have the brand kit because you'll just incorporate the colors of your business. For example, let's say the Ateneo de Naga, we have the color blue and gold. Okay, so if you place it there in the brand kit, may mga suggestion na rin na, of course, ang Canva for you with that specific design, okay, or with that specific color palette. Okay, and then you also have here the content planner. So if you are planning to create a project and you have a deadline for it, so you may use this calendar or planner so that you can easily track on your progress to remind you of the deadlines that you have. Now, this is also helpful if you're collaborating with other users. Okay, para at least you will trace your track, alam nyo kung ano yung progress at alam kung saan yung difficulties at syempre para ma-remind tayo sa deadlines natin. Okay? When you go back to our home screen, on the upper right corner, you'll have there or you'll see there the yung question mark, that's the help button. In case you need assistance on something, you can press that. You have the settings icon. You also have yung profile picture natin dyan. That's your profile, your account. So you can edit that, on your edit your personal information there. And then you will see there the purple button with the create a design. Okay? So that's how you start creating your design. So automatically, Canva will give you suggestions, okay, on what type of design you'll be creating. So nandiyan yung video, presentation, Instagram post, poster, logo, etc., etc. And then at the bottom part, you will also see there that you can customize the size. You can again customize your size depending on the need. Okay, and then you have their edit photo option, and then import file. If again, as I've said, you can import or upload files coming from different sites or from your personal computer. Okay, so now that you have a background on the features of Canva, let us now try account. So again, you may follow. It's easier to see the entire workspace or the interface of Canva. Okay, so to start the demonstration, so let's click this create a design button. Okay, once you click that, again, there are suggestions there for you. So for this demo, let's try to create a poster. Okay, so for the suggested site, and once you click that, you will be redirected where you can rename your design to name it as demo. Okay, so demo, that's at the upper aking screen. So here there are more. Okay, so let's start.
All right, I think
As our
we are
template.
okay.
Okay, so ayan, it will automatically be seen in your workspace. So ayan, nandiyan na yung template natin. So although there are already ready elements in that template, you may choose to add on more elements. Okay? Punta ka dito sa elements button. Again, there are a lot of options. So yung elements natin, what are these? Okay, in Canva or in design, your elements are, we actually have the lines, the text, the shapes, the colors, no, and so on. Yun yung mga designs natin. No, later, i-highlight ko yun. Okay, so kung titignan natin dito, may suggestions ulit para sa atin si Canva at the upper part. Okay, you will see there the lines and shapes, graphics, stickers, okay, especially animated stickers. So, meron din sila. Ako, gusto ko rin kasi yung animated kasi nakaka-catch siya ng attention ng viewer. So, if you'd like that your output has a moving graphic, you may choose to include that. Pero since still, yung gagamitin natin, so still poster, so hindi natin gagamitin muna yung stickers. So you have photos, videos, audio, meron din palang audio, charts, tables, frames, grids, etc. Okay? So if wala dito yung hinahanap mong element, you can type it. Okay? You can type it in the search bar. Try natin yung keyword na heart. Tignan natin kung ano yung lalabas. Okay? So when you type that there, lahat ng heart, diba? Whether it's a photo or it's a graphic art or a video or audio related to that, ay nandito makikita ninyo. Okay, those are hearts. So may stickers, may photos tayo or video, may clip arts. Ayun. Okay. So if you can see this, there is also a suggestion, no, to try your Canva Pro. Meron kasi po dyan na like this one. If you look at this one, meron siyang crown symbol, itong heart na to. That's because this is only good for the Pro account. That means if you are using your free account and you would like this, when you click that, you will see a watermark. Okay? So, may watermark po yan ng Canva. So, kung ayaw mong may watermark, you can either choose a different element. Marami pa naman hearts dyan na pwede mong piliin. Or, you can switch to your Canva Pro account. Okay? So, yun yung paraan doon. Okay? So, let's remove that. Gamitin natin itong black na heart. Okay? And then, okay, pag nag-click ka pala ng isang element, meron ulit yung magic recommendations ang Canva for you. Ang hilig mag-suggest ni Canva to make things easier for you. Okay, so if you, once I click this heart, you will see there the magic recommendations. You can see there all the elements or designs with the same feature. Okay, kunyari, ito heart na Drino, diba? So, ayan, you can choose from all of that. Okay? Okay, ayan. So, iba-iba lang. So, you can move that from one space to another. Hindi ko naman masyado favorite yung heart, no? Sige, so you are free to place that anywhere that you like. So, yun yung elements natin. Okay? I-highlight ko pa yan later on. So, your elements, if you click that, this can be edited further. Okay? Dun sa upper part, ulit natin, kung titignan natin sa screen, you can see there, edit image. Okay? So, you can choose to edit that element or that image. So, may pagpa-pop up ulit. No, nandyan yung mga recommendations ng Canva if you would like to add on some effects to that image. Okay, it's there. Again, we cannot try it all, but you can try it on your own. So there are effects here. Okay, if these are not enough, you can search an effect that you like. Okay, so there's also an option to change the color of the element. So click natin siya. Okay, so you can change the color of your element. So, i-change natin yung color ng heart. May suggestion dyan si Canva. Dun sa first part, that's the color palette based on the colors of your project, okay, of your document. So, nandyan yung gray, yung cream, yung white, diba? Because that's the color of our poster, no, yung template na pinili natin. So, kung hindi mo gusto yung nandyan, you'd like to have a different color. So there are also other color palettes available here. You can, let's try to make it pink. Ayan, kasi yung heart ay pink naman talaga. Okay, ayan. Ayun, so you've edited your color, okay, from black to this one. You can also crop your image. So, click the crop and then pwede nyo siyang i-crop. Okay. Ayun. You can flip, okay, your image. So, kung ayaw mo ng paganto, you can choose to flip that horizontally or flip that vertically. Okay, para hindi nyo na isa-isahin. So, Canva is making things easier for us. Okay? And hindi lang yon, meron pa. You can also animate your entire project or again your elements there. That is again if you are using the or you are designing a motion graphic. Okay, if it is to be posted in the social media or kung video yung gusto niyang output. Pero kung still lang siya, sa paper niyo siya ipiprint, so not advisable na may may animation kasi hindi naman siya makikita. So when you click the animate, there are options once again for you. So there are options either to animate your entire page, Okay, may basic scale, exaggerate, a photo movement, slid in and out. So again, ayun, makikita nyo naman dyan yung options. So you just, again, have to choose. Okay, let's try this. And you can also choose the element animation. Kung ayaw mong i-animate yung buong page mo, so you can animate only one element. So let's, for example, highlight the heart. Let's animate the heart. At gawin natin siyang nagpa-pop. Okay, ganun. Ayun. Okay. So again, marami pang options dyan that you may explore later on. And then also there's an option to remove the animation. Okay? So, ayun, mag-move on na tayo sa elements. You can try to upload also other files. So, it's limited to images, videos, and audio. So, you may choose to upload a file coming from your PC or coming from different website. Okay? So, again, choose either sa images, videos, and audios. Or you can drag them directly here. So in the text, you have there also options, okay, to create a text for heading, for subheading, and then for a little bit of body text, okay. So let's try to add a heading. Okay, let's place there Jing, diba? Wala nang maisip si ma'am. So, Jing. Ayan yung text natin, Jing. Now, in your text, there are also recommendations of font combinations. No? May suggestion ulit na marami si Canva. So, talaga ma-overwhelm tayo sa dami ng templates readily available for you. So, if hindi ka na makapag-isip kung ano yung font na gagamitin mo, you are free to choose the fonts or the font combinations suggested by Canva. Okay, ayan. Pero, if ayaw mo nung mga nandyan na suggestions, you can choose to change your font directly. So, you have here at the upper part an option for the font style. Ayan. So, maraming font na pwede mong gamitin. So, nandyan yan. Okay. So, from cursive to bold fonts, to formal fonts, to goofy fonts, lahat nandun. And again, may mga limitations tayo sa font because some of the fonts there are only accessible or available for Canva Pro users. Okay, so, piliin natin yung pwede sa atin, di ba? Yung pwede lang sa atin. Okay, let's use this or this one. Okay, you can also edit the size, increase it, okay, or decrease it. You can choose the color of the text. Same with sa elements, kanina pwedeng ma-change yung color. You can choose either to place it to bold or italicized. You can choose the alignment of your text. Okay, you can make a list or a bullet form kung gusto nyo. You can adjust the spacing. So, letter spacing and then line spacing kung dalawang line siya. Ayan. And also, you can add effects to your text. Okay? Kung gusto mong may shadow yung text mo, may ma-edit mo din yan manually. Or kung gusto mo nag-glow or neon glow, di ba? Or nag-glitch. No? Depending on your preference. So, ako ayokong may effects. Okay? So again, you can also animate your work. So to highlight the text if you are using or if you are creating a motion graphic. Okay? Ayun. Sige. So, pagpasensyaan nyo na ito mga pinaglalagay ko dito. Sample lang naman ito. Okay? You also have options there when you click the three dots. Options to underline your text, to switch your text into uppercase, and copy style, to lock your work, meaning when you lock it, it cannot be changed. Okay, already. So, para din maiwasan yung accidents na na-undo ko or na-delete ko yung ganito. So, pwedeng i-lock yung elements na nandyan. Okay? You can also duplicate that element. Kung ayaw mo na mag-type ulit or ayaw mo nang maghanap ulit ng element, click the duplicate. Okay? So, automatically, meron ka ng ikalawang text. Okay? Or if you'd like to duplicate the page, meron dito sa option natin, duplicate page. Just click that at automatically your page will be duplicated. Meron din option to delete the page or to create or to add a new page. So when you click the add a new page, of course, it will be a blank page na walang designs, but the same background color. Okay, so you can start with that. Okay. Ayun. And of course, if you have animated objects or elements in your design, of course, there is an option to increase the timing. Okay? So, ayan, dito pwede natin i-increase or i-decrease yung timing. Depende kung gaano kabilis or kabagal nyo gusto yung output ninyo. Okay? You can create or you can download your work by clicking the share button. Okay? And then just click download. Okay? You have there an option to download it depending on the file. So, since meron tayong animation, of course, ang suggestion ni Canva is to download it with MP4 format. Okay? But if it's, again, a plain or a still material, you have options there to download it as a PDF, a JPEG, a PNG, etc., etc. Okay? You may also actually, if you would like to collaborate, okay, for example, you have a group work, no, at gagawin natin to later on, you have a group work and you want to collaborate with other users, you can choose to share your design. So you'll just have to input there, no, the email address of the users, no, kung kanino mo siya i-share, or you can simply copy the link and then share that link to the other groupmates, okay, or the other users. Okay, but to learn more about sharing and collaborating in Canva, may I briefly share with you this video made from or grabbed from the Canva YouTube channel. So, tignan natin kung paano mag-create at mag-collaborate with Canva kasi later on, you will also be doing this. Okay? So, for everyone, let's all watch this.
At Canva, we love collaborating and sharing, which is why we've made it easy for you to do so too. There are some really fun ways to collaborate in Canva, like brainstorming, team voting, creating greeting cards, mood boards, or group work templates. The sky's the limit. To invite people to your design, click the share button here and decide what access permissions they'll need. Type in their email address, give view or edit access, and then click send. You can also copy and share a link to your design like this. Now watch as your teammates join your design. Work simultaneously and see your updates in the editor with live changes. You can always see who's currently collaborating by checking the avatar above. And the colored bounding box lets you know what they're working on. Also notice their name in the corner here. Tag and add comments in real time. Start by selecting something in your design, then click here. You can @mention someone to quickly tag them in a comment like this. Then assign a task by checking this box. If your collaborator is offline, they'll receive a notification via email and will be able to reply or complete the assigned task later. When you're done collaborating, you can easily download your design in your preferred file format like this, or access additional share and publish options here, like publishing directly on social media. You can even publish designs as a scrolling website and share a web link like this. Enjoy collaborating with ease with Canva.
Alright, so that is how you will be able to share and collaborate using your Canva. So sana na-take note yung mga steps on how to share and collaborate because later on, you'll also be collaborating in our activity. Okay, so now that you understand what Canva is, how it started, and what are the features of Canva, and we also tried to use Canva, may I now share with you some of the few tips that you can take note, okay, for you to design better. Okay, I only have 6 tips for you, so you may use or you may get your paper and pen to take down notes kung ano tong 6 tips that you can use in your future projects. Okay, the first thing that you must remember is, I've shared this a while ago, that we have different elements that we must incorporate in our design. Okay, these elements are lines, shapes, forms, text, and color. So, lahat ng ito makikita natin sa isang design or sa isang visual material. So, ang bibigay ko pong tips ay kung paano ninyo gagamitin itong elements na to better. Okay, how will you use it effectively in your design? Okay, so for the first step, this is particularly pertaining to your text. Okay, so I want you to remember that in the text aspect of your design, you have to follow proper typography. Okay, when we say typography, this is the way we design our text. Okay, be it the font style, the font size, the color, if ever it is big or small, if it's justified or centered. Okay, that's typography. Okay, so to know more about typography and how to follow or to how to use it properly in your designs, I have again a short video. So this is very insightful video. May mga terminologies na i-share that you must take note. Okay, so without further ado, let's all watch this.
Typography. It's everywhere we look. In the books we read, on the websites we visit, even in everyday life, on street signs, bumper stickers, and product packaging. Simply put, typography is the style or appearance of text. It can also refer to the art of working with text, something you probably do all the time if you create documents or other projects for work, school, or yourself. Typography can be an intimidating subject, but it doesn't have to be. You only need to know a little to make a big difference in the stuff you do every day. So let's get started. First, some common types of fonts and what you need to know about them. Serif fonts have little strokes called serifs attached to the main part of the letter. Because of their classic look, they're a good choice for more traditional projects. They're also common in print publications, like magazines and newspapers. Sans serif fonts don't have that extra stroke, hence the name, which is French for without serif. This style is considered more clean and modern than serif fonts. Also, it tends to be easier to read on computer screens, including smartphones and tablets. Display fonts come in many different styles, like script, black letter, all caps, and just plain fancy. Because of their decorative nature, display fonts are best for small amounts of text. For example, titles and headers, and more graphic-heavy designs. In a way, fonts have their own language. They all have something to say beyond the words on the page. They can come across as casual or neutral, exotic or graphic. That's why it's important to think about your message and pick a font that fits. Some fonts come with extra baggage, like Comic Sans, Curls, Papyrus, and many more. There's nothing particularly wrong with these fonts. They just have a certain reputation for being outdated and overused. If you find yourself tempted by them, think twice and consider using something else. There are many fonts with a similar look and feel that are less likely to detract from your message. When deciding which fonts to use, less is more. It's best to limit yourself to 1 or 2 per project. If you need more contrast, try repeating one of your fonts in a different size, weight, or style. This trick is practically foolproof for creating interesting combinations that work. You've probably heard the saying, opposites attract. Well, the same is true for fonts. Don't be afraid to combine font styles that are different but complementary, like sans serif with serif, short with tall, or decorative with simple. This can be challenging at first, but don't despair. Look to other designs for inspiration, and soon you'll get the hang of it. Maybe you've heard terms like kerning, leading, tracking, and hierarchy. For those with more experience, these concepts are essential for creating professional-looking designs. As a beginner, you don't need to know everything about these terms, just enough to inform your work and help you talk about design with more confidence. Hierarchy is used to guide the reader's eye to whatever is most important. In other words, it shows them where to begin and where to go next, using different levels of emphasis. Establishing hierarchy is simple. Just decide which elements you want the reader to notice first, then make them stand out. High-level items are usually larger, bolder, or different in some way. Remember to keep it simple and stick to just a few complementary styles. Leading is the space between lines of text, also known as line spacing. If you're not sure how much line spacing to use, don't fret. The default is usually fine. The goal is to make your text as comfortable to read as possible. Too much or too little spacing can make things unpleasant for the reader. Tracking is the overall space between characters, sometimes called character spacing. Most programs let you condense or expand this depending on your needs. In some designs, you might adjust your tracking to create a certain artistic effect. It can also help you fix fonts that are poorly spaced to begin with. Kerning is the space between specific characters. Unlike tracking, it varies over the course of the word because each letter fits together differently. Some fonts have what we call bad kerning, making certain letters look improperly spaced. If a font you're using has bad kerning, it's best to cut your losses and choose something else. Well-crafted text can mean the difference between an ordinary project and an extraordinary project, even if you're just getting started with design. All it takes is an interest in typography, and you'll start to notice more, see more, and be able to do more in your own work.
Okay, so that's how you work well with your typography. Personally, I also have struggles with typography kasi there are a lot of fonts that you can choose from, diba? So it's hard or it's difficult to choose one particular font that is better for your design, because again, you have to change the font depending on the material, be it should it be formal or informal, diba? Doon mo i-base yung font mo. So may i-share kanina na different terminologies. So we have the hierarchy, the leading, the kerning, and then the tracking. So alalahanin po yung tips na ibinigay kanina about this four, no, to make your text better, or to make the appearance of your text better, okay, in your future design. So hierarchy, leading, kerning, and tracking. Okay, now the second tip that I'll be sharing with you is now about the elements present, no other elements present in your design. It's the shape, actually lahat, no, pertaining to all of the elements. So this tip number 2 is that you have to incorporate the principles of design in your work. Okay, ano yung principles of design? Meron pa tayong tinatawag na principles of design. Yes, there is. So what are the principles of design? So to know better about it, let's again watch this short video.
In this video, we're going to put some design principles into action so you can feel confident using them to make design decisions in Canva. As we learned, emphasis makes elements in a design stand out. There are lots of ways we can emphasize something. Take this design, for example. We can make this text box stand out by making it bigger, bolder, or brighter than everything around it, like this. The way we've emphasized this text is in contrast to the other text around it, which leads us to our next principle. In the context of visual design, contrast is the difference between elements in a composition. For example, let's add a circle by pressing the C key. Right now, the circle doesn't tell us much as it's the only element on the page. We can't tell how big or small it is, or how far away it is from us. To suggest that, we need another visual element. Here's a smaller circle. By placing this new object next to the original one, we now create contrast by context. By contrast, we can now tell that our first circle is bigger, hinting it's probably more important. But what if we have two circles at the same size? This time, to achieve contrast, we can make it darker. Now the darker circle is perhaps closer to us, or more important, and it certainly grabs our attention. Contrast creates interesting relationships between the visual elements. It can push elements away, connect them, or complement them. Without contrast, visual elements can be meaningless. White space, otherwise known as negative space, is the unused or empty space in a design. It can help our eyes take a rest, helps a design breathe, and avoids overwhelming viewers with too much information. Let's see how we can utilize space in the following example. An easy way to ensure any design has appropriate breathing room is to use margins. We can show margins here. This gives us an even area of negative space around the outside of the page to house all our design elements neatly. As you can see, elements are protruding into this margin area. So let's adjust them, like this. We can adjust spacing, move and resize elements to create more negative space and breathing room. Movement is how the human eye interacts with your design. The most important element in your design should be the first thing people see, followed by the second and third. Think of movement as a compass guiding viewers around your design. Take these circles, for example. At the moment, the viewing order or direction is not very clear. But what happens if we rearrange the circles, like this? Now we have clearer movement from left to right. Repetition is a great tool to reinforce consistency in your design. There are lots of ways we can create repetition in elements. Take these shapes, for example. For cohesive flow, we can change them all to circles. We can make sure they're all aligned the same. And use the same colors in a repeated treatment. Now we have a design that looks much more uniform. Proportion refers to the size of elements in relation to each other. The larger an object is, the more likely you are to notice it. Therefore, the more important it is. In this example, the most important element in the title. So let's make that the biggest. And other elements smaller. Alignment gives designs order, structure, and organization. It creates a flow through designs and can connect related elements. In Canva, we can align design elements by looking for smart guides that appear when they auto-detect alignment while we're moving around the editor, like this. We can also align elements using margins and guides. This way, we can align text to the left, middle, right, or justify the alignment, which means aligning it to both the left and right edges. The position button makes the designer's job easy. It evenly spaces and aligns individual elements, taking the guesswork out for us. To use it, select multiple elements on your page and click Position. Here, you can choose whether to align elements with each other, like this, or you can space elements evenly. This option detects the two elements that are furthest apart from one another and evenly distributes the middle elements between them. Handy, huh? When adding elements to your design, it's important to understand that every element has a weight to it, whether it's in the form of size, color, tone, or texture. Balance or imbalance refers to how the visual weights of these elements are distributed within your design. For example, here we can see most of the elements are on one side of the page, creating imbalance. This might be intentional, but if we move or add some elements to the other side, things start to feel more ordered. We can also use guides to help us position elements, like this. By rearranging these elements, we've created an asymmetrical, balanced design. Let's try a symmetrically balanced design, where both sides mirror each other. Now we know how to improve our designs to work visually using our design principle skills. Ready to see what's next?
Okay, so these are the principles of design. So we have to take note of these 7 things. So in your design, there should be emphasis, diba? May hina-highlight ka na isang elements, possible a text or whatever you need to highlight. We have the contrast, we have the white space. Again, yung white space natin is the empty space that you have in your design. So hindi pwedeng, or hindi kasi maganda rin na crowded masyado yung design mo. Okay, so there should always be a white space. Okay, then we have repetition, proportion, balance, and alignment. So I believe na i-explain naman siya doon sa video. So just take note of the tips given by Canva on all of these principles of design. Okay, so tip number 3. So remember to keep your design simple. Okay, simplicity is always beauty. Okay, as much as we would like to make our project or design extravagant, mas maganda pa rin na konting elements lang yung ilalagay ninyo. Sabi nga dun sa video kanina, dun sa typography, less is more. Okay? So for example, you're choosing a color palette. Okay? Material is for children. Diba? Kids would like colorful stuff. Diba? So you may opt to choose a colorful color palette. Again, depende sa inyong ginagawang material. But the bottom line is to make things simple. Huwag masyadong maglagay ng maraming text o kaya huwag din po masyadong maglagay ng maraming elements. Yung tama lang. Yung needed lang doon sa design mo to highlight certain elements or magbigay ng emphasis sa certain things that you would like to highlight. Okay? Huwag sobra. Next, our tip number 4 is that you have to explore on innovative and bolder ideas. So kahit simple yung ginagawa mong material, dapat you also need to think outside of the box. So innovative kasi hindi rin masyado maganda na yung design na ginagawa mo ay parang parehas lang din sa previous designs that you're using. You also need to improve that. Ano pa yung mga bagay na pwedeng maipaganda mo or pwedeng magpaganda sa ginagawa mong project? Okay? So explore new ideas, innovative ideas. Next one is bolder ideas. Okay? Minsan kasi nahihirapan tayong lumabas dun sa comfort zone natin. Okay? For example, if usually your materials are formal. Okay? Tapos, ilang designs na yung nagawa mo, minsan mas maganda rin that we, again, think outside of the box and explore bolder ideas. So, kung may mga designs or styles na hindi ka pa nagagawa before, maybe it's high time to incorporate them in your designs. Okay? Wala naman masama kung itatry mo. No, experimental. So, if it worked out fine, then you can use that in the future designs that you will be making. Pero kung hindi masyadong naging maganda yung outcome, then you can choose not to. Again, explore, no? Be courageous enough to try new things. Okay? So, try new ideas or bolder ideas. Okay? That's tip number 4. Next tip, so we have tip number 5, is to upgrade your designing skills frequently. Okay, how will you upgrade your designing skills? Of course, you have to learn more and practice more. Okay, learn more. So in order to learn more, of course, you can read books about design or about layouting. You can watch videos online, know how to improve your designs, or you can attend workshops such as this, no, on how you can improve your design. So you have to learn. Okay? Hindi naman masamang aminin na hindi ka naman talaga expert sa simula. Okay? We always start at the bottom. Okay? Hindi tayo napakagaling sa simula. So, always keep that in mind. There should always be a room for improvement, okay? Room for more learning. Okay? Kasi kung sa tingin mo maganda na yung work mo ngayon or yung output mo ngayon, mas gaganda pa yan if you have more knowledge on designing or in what you do. Okay? And then, how do we also enhance or upgrade our skills? You have to practice. Okay? Practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. Marami ko ng quote na naibanggit. Diba? So, you have to practice. So, minsan nangangalawang din yung skills natin kapag hindi natin nagamit for a long time. So, every now and then, you can, again, use your knowledge, the learnings that you learned from your workshop, from the things that you've read, apply that. Okay? Mag-practice paano gawin yung style na yon, paano gawin yung technique na yon. Okay, para in the near future, mas mabilis na rin yung paggawa mo ng designs. Okay, lahat yun, it's a domino effect. Okay, kapag mas marami kang knowledge about designing, kapag na-practice mo ng mabuti yung pagde-design, okay, in the future, mas mabilis na, okay, yung paggawa mo ng mga materials. Okay, unlike dun sa nagsisimula ka pa lang na kailangan mo pang aralin lahat ng bagay, no? Yung software or yung platform that you're using. Tapos kailangan mo pa mag-explore kung ano yung magandang design, 'di ba? And so on and so forth. Okay? So upgrade your designing skills frequently. Okay? And then the last step that I'll be sharing is to promote a clear and impactful message. So aside from the appearance of our material, kung gaano siya kaganda, how aesthetically beautiful it is, in order to catch the attention of your viewers or of your audience, you also need to be particular with the message that you are trying to convey through your visual material. Okay? Clear ba yung message na inilagay mo doon sa material mo? Or medyo malabo? Kasi minsan, kung medyo malabo, nagkakaroon ng misinterpretation or misunderstanding. Okay? At gaano ba ka-helpful or gaano ba ka-impactful yung message? Is it life-changing? Is it simply to inform? Is it to educate? To entertain? Diba? To empower your viewer or your audience. And you have to be particular with that. Dapat alam mo kung ano yung message na gusto mong iparating sa yung audience. Dapat naiintindihan nila. So I've shared this before that as a designer or as an editor, you have to put your feet in the shoes of your audience. Okay? Mag-change hat ka, mag-change ng perspective. Paano kung ikaw yung titingin dun sa design? Is it understandable? Okay? Is the message clear? Is it, does it affect me personally or emotionally? Okay? Ano yung gusto mong message ng iyong material? Okay? Bukod sa appearance, isa rin dapat yung message, no, kung napaiyak mo ba yung viewer mo, or na-inspire mo ba siya, isa yun sa magdidictate kung naging effective yung material na nagawa mo. Okay? So those are my 6 tips on how you can design better. So again, the first one is to follow proper typography. Number 2 is to incorporate the principles of design in your work. Number 3, remember to keep your design simple. Number 4 is to explore on innovative and bolder ideas. Number 5 is to upgrade your designing skills frequently. And number 6 is to promote a clear and impactful message. Okay, so may nabuong term. Okay, ang hilig ko sa ganito. Mas mabilis kasi maalala yung mga bagay kapag may acronym. Okay, so in short, remember to fire up. Okay, when you're designing, fire up your designs, okay? By, again, incorporating the tips that I've shared with you a while ago. So, tamang-tama ang ating theme for this year's ACP is Cannonballs, no? Firing up dreams, courage, and actions. Okay, so when you'll be designing in the future, remember to fire it up. Alright, so I believe now you are much equipped with enough knowledge, okay, on how to design using our Canva. Okay, so it's now time to apply that knowledge into actions. Okay, so at this point, we'll be having now the group activity. So again, I'll be needing the assistance of our OSA staff to divide the entire participants into groups. Okay, but before that, it is essential that before you go to your groups, no, ay nagawa ninyo yung pre-workshop assignment or pre-workshop activity that I've shared before, okay, or before the workshop. So just to recall kung ano yung pre-workshop activity or assignment. So eto po yung instructions ni ma'am. So first, you have to create your Canva account using your Gbox or add new email. If you're done with that, so it's good. You'll be using that for this activity. The second thing that you have to do is to recall and review the story of Saint Ignatius Cannonball experience. Okay, so this was discussed in your CIFP 101 class during your first year. So sana naaalala pa yung story ni Saint Ignatius, specifically that cannonball experience. Okay, so with that, ano yung gagawin nyo? So once you've done reviewing the story of Saint Ignatius or the cannonball experience, you will need to answer and reflect on this question. And the question is, what do you consider as the cannonball experience of your life as a student and why? Okay? So this is supposedly an individual task. So bago kayo pumunta dito sa workshop, dapat baon-baon nyo na yung sagot ninyo dito sa question na to. Because your answer will be needed for our group activity. Okay? So let's proceed with the group activity. Here are the instructions. What will you do with your groups? Okay? So the first thing, of course, Team OSA will be assigning the participants into groups for the breakout session. So later, you will be divided. And then number 2, so as a group, you will have to briefly, okay, briefly discuss your answers to the pre-workshop activity or assignment. So yung answer ninyo dun sa question ko kanina or the questions I've given beforehand. So you may also assign a facilitator if it is needed, no, in the group. Okay, and then after you've shared about your answers dun sa question, no, as a group again, so you have to collaborate. Now, from the consolidated answers of each members, create a simple poster depicting your cannonball experience. Okay? So please make use of Canva in doing so. Okay? Again, simple poster lang po. Just use the template provided by Canva. Pwedeng, if possible, maglagay kayo ng ibang elements doon that could make your simple poster stand out, no, or better. Okay? So you have to collaborate as a team. So it is essential that all of the members have the Canva account. Okay? So as simple as that. So if you have questions later on, I'll be with you. You can chat me dito sa ating chat box, no, kung may questions while having or while doing the activity. Okay? So this activity.
All right. Thank you for that, Miss Jennifer. So Miss Jennifer discussed to us the instructions for the activity. However, unfortunately po, due to the lack of time, we will not be able to perform the activity right now. And so we suggest that after our program proper, you apply the learnings that you have gained through Ma'am Jennifer's talk and make the activity with your group mates after the program na po. So, yung activity natin ay magiging work na lang po yun. So again, we apologize for this circumstance. So again, let me reiterate, since this is a group work, you can invite your friends or your classmates to work on this fun activity together as a homework na po. And so, we continue with the concluding part of Ma'am Jennifer's talk po. Okay, while waiting for our technical team to present the video recording for the conclusion part, may I know muna kung andyan pa ba ang ating participants? Buhay pa ba kayo? If oo pa at kinakaya pa, please comment your favorite emoji sa ating chat box. Tignan nga natin kung buhay pa kayo. Okay. Ayun. Thankfully, andyan pa naman sila. I can see a lot of hearts. May mga heart eyes. May crying na. Ayan, heart. Patay na po, Char. It's okay. Ayan, madaming heart. Madaming may funny face. Okay. Alright. Ooh. Okay. Thank you so much for that, everyone. At least alam namin na andyan pa kayo. So here is the conclusion of Ma'am Jennifer's talk po. Patapos na tayo, guys.
Activity. So don't worry if you're not yet done with your work. So later pa naman yung presentation. I'll just have to share a few more things before we end the workshop. Okay, so if ever you will not be able to present later on, since I've mentioned that only a few volunteers will be able to present given the limited time that we have, don't worry, because you can share your outputs with me using email, I think, so I can give comments for the enhancement of your output, or you can upload that in our Google Classroom so that Team OSA can also look into your outputs for today. Okay, so just to sum up what we have done for the entire workshop. So a while ago, we were able to, of course, discuss about visual communication. Why is it essential for us to know the context or the reason why we have to communicate our visuals properly or effectively. And then, of course, we discussed about Canva as a design platform. We explored the features of Canva, and we even had demonstrations on how to use or edit with Canva. Okay, and then I've shared with you some tips for you to design better. So remember, in the future designs or the future materials that you will create, remember to fire it up, okay? To fire up your designs, okay? And then a while ago, we were just done with the activity, our group activity. So you collaborated using your Canva. So later we'll have the presentation. And then for the open forum, you may address your questions or clarifications to me later on. Okay, so just to end the entire workshop, so I've asked you earlier, why do we have the ACP? No, why do we have to use Canva properly? Why do we have to convey our message properly or appropriately? Okay, so remember that as a university, we have our vision and mission. And I would like to highlight this particular part of our vision statement in Ateneo de Naga, that as a university, or the university produces graduates who are responsible citizens, formed in the Catholic faith and inspired by Ignatian spirituality. So how is that, ma'am, related to the workshop? Okay, how can I be a responsible citizen based on what we had done in the workshop? Okay, so in today's time that our society is filled with fake news or misinformation, okay, I want you guys to become responsible citizens. Okay, responsible in a way that let's stop spreading lies. Let's stop spreading fake news or misinformation. Let us not revise history anymore. Okay? Kasi what matters is the truth. Okay? We have to use, you have to use these platforms, Canva and other platforms, in order to uphold truth. Okay? We deserve to know the truth, especially that the elections is, of course, fast approaching. Many citizens, many Filipinos are confused, which are true, which are not. Okay? So when you are communicating, when you are creating your materials, remember that you can either spread the truth, or you can either spread a lie. Okay, so I hope, in the future materials that you'll be producing or creating, you will always have to uphold or promote truth. Okay, let's not spread misinformation anymore. Okay, so remember that in your materials, you should be able to inform rather than to confuse your audience. You should be able to inspire your audience rather than discourage them. You should be able to educate them rather than to judge them. Okay? And most importantly, you should be able to empower them, not to degrade them. Okay? In our life, we encounter cannonballs. Okay? Encounter cannonball experience that will turn our life 360 degrees. Just like Saint Ignatius, yung cannonball experience niya, it inspired him, or it led him to become the saint that he is right now. Just like Miss Melanie Perkins, we can consider her experience in college as her cannonball experience, kung bakit niya nagawa yung Canva. Because she witnessed students struggling on using the platform Photoshop to design. She and her team, they were able to create Canva. Because of that mission, that they wanted everyone to access, or everyone to be able to design their work properly or effectively. Okay, so you might also experience cannonballs in your life as a student right now, but that's all right. Okay? So use that experience, again, to inform, to inspire, to educate, and to empower. Okay? So for the last part, an inspiration coming from none other than Saint Ignatius of Loyola. Okay? He said that all the things in this world are gifts of God, created for us to be the means by which we can come to know Him better, love Him more surely, and serve Him more faithfully. Okay, so use your gifts, your talents, no, just like Miss Melanie Perkins did. So she used her talents, her gift in designing in order to empower, okay, other people in designing better. Okay, she was able to invent Canva, okay, or to produce Canva. Okay, so use also your talents and your skills to spread truth. Use it to inform, use it to educate, to inspire, and most importantly, use it to empower others. Okay? In my classes before, I always share with my students my favorite quote or line, which is in omnibus amare et servire. Okay? In English, that's in everything, love and serve. Okay? In omnibus amare et servire Domino, in everything, love and serve the Lord. But I always add another word. Okay? In everything, love and serve the Lord and your country. Because in order for you to love Him and serve Him better, you should not forget your country. Okay? Love and serve your country too. Be responsible citizens. Be responsible communicators. Okay? Do not spread lies. Do not revise history. Do not spread fake news. But be responsible communicators by spreading the truth, upholding the truth, promoting justice through the materials, the visual materials that you will create in the future. Okay? So, I thank you all for participating in today's alternative class program, Easy Design Canva Workshop. Once again, I'm Ma'am Jing. So in omnibus amare et servire, in everything, love and serve. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, you may address them to me later during the open forum after some of our participants or groups will be able to share their work. Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, Ma'am Jing. Pagpupugay. Thank you so much, Miss Gavarra, for walking us through the Canva tool and giving us excellent tips and techniques that we can use in our studies and creative engagements. We all learned a lot from you, ma'am, from history, parts, yung types of accounts, pricing, lahat na-discuss ni ma'am. And also, most importantly, yung binigay sa atin ni ma'am na tip na always remember when designing, do not forget to fire up. Thank you so much for that, Ma'am Jennifer. So, I am sure that at this time, meron kayong mga tanong for our speaker. Pero bago tayo mag-open forum, why don't we have a quick, fun game first. So, are you one of those students na takbuhan ng Canva kapag may kung ano man na activity? If you are one of them, you might have a chance to ace this game. Our game for today is entitled 4 Pictures, 1 Word. Let me read the mechanics. So, number 1, we will be presenting 4 pictures on our screen which relates to the Canva platform. Second, participants must guess what word the pictures describe by writing their answers to the chat box. Third, the first participant to send the correct answer after the MC's go signal and the go line wins. So please remember everyone na kahit naka-flash na sa screen yung 4 pictures, wag niyo muna isend ang inyong answers hanggat hindi pa nag-go signal ang MC at hindi pa nasisend ang go line sa ating chat box. Fourthly, the winner will receive a GCash load credit. And note lang po dun sa mananalo, the winner shall message Miss Precious Nina Y. Apuya on Facebook Messenger. So, Are you ready, Atenea? So if you are ready, kindly key in your favorite emoji for me to know that you are ready. Send naman dyan ng mga hearts. Ayan, ready na daw si Miss Imelda, Miss Bridget, Miss Casey. Ready na sila. Ayan. So, I guess you're all ready. Ano pang hinihintay natin? Let's now start. So, this is our round. Here's the 4 pictures. Remember, wag muna po isasend ang inyong answers until may go signal. Ano kaya ito? Ano kaya ang pictures nito? Ang hint natin is 8-letter word daw siya. Ready, everyone? 1, 2, 3, go! Ayan! Parang meron ng nauna. Tingnan na lang natin, guys, kung sino ang nauna. Please wait for a while. Kino-confirm natin sa ating staff. Alright, guys, we now have a winner. The right answer is... Next page, please. Tama ba ang answer ng ating mga participants? Patingin nga. Tech team. Elements ang ating answer. And so, our winner, according to our staff, is Miss Nicole L. Fresnosa. Congratulations, Miss Nicole! Our staff, Miss Precious Apuya sa Facebook or kaya sa kanyang Gbox account na papuya@gbox.adu.edu.ph. Please remember to state your name, your year and course together with your GCash number for you to be acknowledged and to claim your prize. Ayan, thank you everyone for participating sa ating game. And now, we will proceed with the Q&A portion. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let us now have an open forum. Everyone is encouraged to send their insights and questions to our resource speaker. You may click the raise hand button, then open your camera and microphone when recognized, or type in your question to our chat box or direct them through the Google form provided in the chat box. All right. Clear naman ata ang instructions natin with your questions. Habang wala pang questions ang ating mga participants at habang nagwi-wait pa tayo, may I call on our first reactor, Miss Bridget Kyle Bernal. Miss Bridget, the floor is now yours.
Okay, so hello, good afternoon, everyone. I hope I am visible. Okay,
Yes,
so
yes po.
okay, thank you, Bea. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Ma'am Jing. And okay po, first of all, I would like to thank you, Ma'am Jing, for giving us this free workshop po for imparting your knowledge and skills and the chance to learn more about Canva. And thank you for giving us new ideas na magagamit namin, not just for academics, but also for other purposes. And I would also like to thank the participants for attending this workshop kasi you could have been to other places spending your time with your friends or you could have just had your rest, but you were here with us throughout the event and we deeply appreciate your presence. So ayan, honestly ma'am, I would admit na I am not really good in making designs even though given na yung design sa Canva, and most of the time I would ask my college buddy, Tyron, hello, which I think is also there, naturuan ako or ayusin yung designs ko. But with this workshop, I feel like hindi na masistress sa akin si Tyron kasi marami naman na akong natutunan. Yun po. So thank you for providing us a step-by-step tutorial on using Canva. This is actually great for those who are just starting to use Canva as their medium to create designs. Just like me, I am actually not very familiar with Canva, even though it's been years. I think I started using Canva since first year. Yun po. I think I have a lot to discover pa talaga kasi personally, I use Canva because of its convenience, and it is very user friendly. And it helped me to excel some of my outputs to different subjects kasi madali lang siyang gamitin, and the designs are very cool and easy to edit. I also make my presentations look it also make my presentations look like I really prepared for it, although ginamit ko lang naman talaga yung design and templates ng Canva. And I believe na nakaka-relate naman yung lahat ng nandito kasi we can all agree na Canva templates make our outputs look extra presentable even for a little time of preparation. Pero I would like to highlight one point lang, ma'am, na I think it really has a great impact to me. It is about the reason why there is a need to use Canva or to do designs properly. And it is because it is used to effectively communicate depending on what messages you want to convey. This is actually very enlightening kasi we tend to make designs based on our preferences or interests, such as the use of different colors and elements. But this workshop taught me that making designs is not just about putting elements, colors, and text together to create an image. It should be something that tells a message properly. Thank you for all the tips that you have shared with us. The proper use of text po, yun na nga, na-mention nyo po yung about sa typography. Using this will create a big difference talaga sa designs na ginagawa natin, like proper use of typography, proper use of different fonts and letters, depending on what visual presentation or material. Importante talaga yung fonts, lalong-lalo na I learned na fonts have their own language din. So it is important talaga to think about a message and pick a font that fits to it. So kasi magkaiba naman yung yung dapat yung word tugma dun sa font, yun po. So additionally, the different principles of designs help me to better create designs, lalo na nagsa-struggle talaga ako sa pagsama-sama ng mga elements, and very knowledgeable talaga yung different principles. So here I learned that designs are actually very powerful as it is used to convey our messages. Hence, it is important to make our designs clear, to deliver our messages clear. So before I end this reaction po, I would like to say to deliver a short message to every designer or every struggling designers there like me. We should always explore our capabilities and to never stop making designs. Continue to explore the different mediums until one day, hindi na tayo nagdedepende sa designs na given na sa Canva. Doon na tayo sa day na tayo na mismo yung gagawa ng sariling designs, and we will be proud of ourselves. And also, let us all help stop the spreading of fake news po through our designs, or kung hindi natin magagamit yung design siguro in different actions. Especially, we need to influence the people with the truth and not with the lies. So that's all po, and I hope you learned something from Miss Jing, just like me. And again, thank you so much, Mom Jing, and thank you so much, everyone. Thank you po.
Wow, thank you so much for that, Ate Bridget. That's so beautiful. Your insight was so wonderful po. We will hear the thoughts later of Ma'am Jing about your reaction. Now, we also have the next reactor, Mr. Peter John R. Espelita. Are you here na po? Yes, I can see him na. So the floor is now yours po.
So, good afternoon po. Am I audible po? So, good afternoon, everyone. Before I start my speech, I would like to thank first po Miss Gavarra for that wonderful thought that has enabled us to fundamentally root ourselves in light of knowing the several techniques and strategies in utilizing Canva as a tool in various or myriads of endeavors we would like to affiliate ourselves with. So in addition, to all the participants who are here today, especially the students who are present and have been able themselves to participate in today's workshop. So with the workshop given by Ms. Gavarra, I have several insights that have been learned and realized to it po. Firstly is that art can be a tool to raise awareness. So in today's context, it is significant for us to realize that art plays a crucial role in enabling the people to grasp the legitimate information, especially catering to the lives of the people that shall help them to transcend in life. So, such a workshop like this is indeed an eye-opener for us to appreciate the use of art in its utilitarian purpose. We could use this to enlighten others' minds and be able to catalyze the incremental changes that will advocate pro-people and pro-positive claims. So the second thought po is about the utilization of today's technological advancement to achieve the common good of all, such as using Canva. For example, in our involvement po in school or in our businesses, and most especially with our society, I believe that having the capacity and righteous amount of awareness pertinent on the matters in navigating the tools we take for granted, for example, Canva, it is crucial as well to ask what can these things cater to us to better our lives and of others. Asking this rudimentary question shall arise the main reason why we are enabling ourselves to learn and ground ourselves learning these endeavors with a purpose and utilize them in the purposive ways. For example, do it in campaigning for gender equality, in our advocacy on the right to freedom, suffrage, and many things. So third po is digital art such as Canva can be a medium to shape today's people. So it is evident in the status quo or today's context that there are myriads of people that are being victimized by today's fake news and disinformation, just like what Ma'am had stated a while from now. So it is an urgent time for all of us to help in advocating for combating these false propagandas that exist. So through the use of tools such as Canva, we could utilize this as a tool to easily have the access to reversing the impacts of false information in today's context. Tapos, as people involved in the academe, it is therefore our duty and responsibility to also partake in the call in utilizing digital art such as Canva to mitigate the possible harms of disinformation that exists in our world. So, these insights, I believe, are really relevant in today's discussion in viewing art as a tool and Canva as a medium to transcend our calls and be able to upload it and reach a wide scope for our betterment and benefit. So with this po, I have a question which I would like to address to Miss Gavarra. The question po is does Canva, knowing that it is easy, does it undermines the capacity of the people po, especially the students' capability to create any form of art, given that it is a drag and drop algorithm, just like what you stated, ma'am. Yun lang.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for that, Kuya PJ. Now we will hear the thoughts of Ma'am Jennifer. Thoughts niya sa reaction ni Ate Bridget and Kuya PJ and her answer with Kuya PJ's query. Go, ma'am.
Okay, sige. Good afternoon to all. Am I loud and clear?
Yes,
Audible?
ma'am, you are.
Okay. Sige. So, first, thank you to Miss Bridget and to Mr. PJ for your reactions. Si Miss Bridget muna, of course, thank you for the honesty na sabi mo, hindi ka at first gaano kagaling in designing. Actually, we all start in that aspect, no? Sa early stage natin, hindi naman talaga tayo expert. Na-mention ko yun kanina. So, it's very essential that we continuously develop our skills. No? Kasama siya dun sa tips na na-mention ko. And thank you kasi na-highlight mo din na you have learned that it is essential to use Canva properly because it's not only a tool to design. No? Hindi lang naman natin ginagamit yung Canva to design projects, but yun nga, yung na-mention ko is actually to communicate a message. No? Hindi ka naman pipili ng isang platform or software na hindi mo trusted, di ba? Pipiliin mo yung pinakamagandang software because that is your tool to communicate a message effectively. Okay, so thank you for that, Miss Bridget. And same sentiments din kanina with PJ. So, dun sa question ni PJ, kung hindi ma-undermine. Actually, ang Canva naman, meron naman silang option if you can start in a blank slate, di ba? So, may available templates there for you kasi yun nga yung mission ng Canva to make things easier for you, for non-designers to design properly. Pero you have an option to start na from scratch. Okay, so nandun pa rin yung creativity kasi although we are overwhelmed with a lot of elements, a lot of templates, nasa sayo pa rin as a designer kung paano mo gagamitin yung creativity mo to produce an artwork or a project, diba? A visual material. So I think challenge din siya. No, kasi kung nilatag na sa'yo yung lahat ng resources mo, lahat ng materials mo, so paano mo na siya gagamitin ngayon, di ba, to produce an output? Okay? Readily available lang siya, pero yun, yung creativity nasa sa'yo pa rin kung paano mo siya gagawin. Okay? Ayun. Na-miss ko tuloy yung ad. No? Hello na lang to my former students out there.
Thank you po, ma'am, for answering the question.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you so much for that, Miss Jennifer. At this point po, ma'am, pwede na tayong magbasa ng ating questions na ating mga participants na sinend nila through the Google form na provide natin. So, firstly, ma'am, there is a question for you na, is the creation of Canva a disadvantage for artists who have graphic design as a job, since it makes designing po easier for non-artists?
Okay, so actually, in a way, hindi naman siya negative, no? Kasi again, the Canva is good for students din. On a professional level, we would need also to request or to seek help from professional graphic artists, di ba? So kung yun, educational level for for example, for activities in your classes, for projects, students can easily use Canva. Pero again, when you will use it in work, di ba, hindi na advisable na may you seek help from professional graphic artists kasi sila pa rin yung yung talagang blessed sa pagde-design ng visual materials at alam din nila yung mga rules, 'di ba, in visual designing. Okay, so I think siya. Both may negative and positive effect yung pag-create ng Canva. Pero again, na-challenge pa rin naman yung designer, yung especially yung non-designer kung paano ka magka-create ng own work. Okay.
All right, thank you for that, Ma'am Jennifer. Here's another question po, ma'am, again from the Google form. What is the difference between Canva Pro and education?
Okay, I think na-mention ko rin siya kanina, yung sa Canva. Although Canva Pro and yung free Canva account. Yung Canva Pro po kasi kaya siya pro for professional use because there's a lot of features there na hindi accessible doon sa free Canva account. Yung Canva for Education, this was designed specifically since we transitioned to online learning, specifically for educators, for teachers, and for students. Yun yung ginagamit nilang tool, yung Canva for Education. Sa features, well, ang readily available na templates kasi for Canva for Education, of course, yung mga materials na gagamitin for school. For example, yung mga lesson plan for teachers, meron sa Canva for Education doon. Sa other, yung Canva for professionals, wala masyado nun. Kasi nga, di ba yung na-mention ko kanina, nag-a-ask ng question ng Canva, what you'll be using Canva for. Okay, so kapag in-answer mo yun that you'll use it for education, Canva will feed you templates that you will be using for education, for classroom assignment, for infographics, di ba? Yun lang yung difference, I think. No? Kung professional, of course, yun, yung na-mention ko yung branding, na hindi siya accessible dun sa free account kasi when we use it in for professional aspect, of course, for example, you'll be creating a logo for your business, perhaps. Hindi siya, mas magandang yung pro account yung gagamitin mo kasi na-access yung brand kit. Unlike doon sa Canva na free account. So wala naman masyadong difference. Only yung mga elements and templates available nandoon. Tsaka yun, may bayad kasi yung Canva Pro account. Okay? Kasi nga for professional siya.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am, for clearing that up. And also na-realize ko din, ma'am, through your answer na super blessed naming mga students ng ADNU na mabigyan ng education account sa Canva since gamit na gamit talaga po namin siya sa mga school works. Here's another question po, ma'am. Medyo related doon sa mga types of account, lalo na yung mga premium po, ma'am. So, ang question niya is, what are your thoughts on those people who purchase premium subscriptions of Canva illegally po?
Okay, sige. Yun, of course, we do not tolerate that, no? Pero minsan kasi, no, honestly, hindi siya niiwasan. Ako rin nung time na I was still a student, since wala akong access, no, sa yung mga Adobe Premiere ganun, medyo may cost siya. Minsan matitempt ka rin talaga, no? Para sa magandang outputs, para lang for the sake na magkaroon ka ng magandang output in school. So, matitempt ka na mag-buy illegally. No? Pero again, we do not tolerate that. Much better if you purchase it in a legal way. Diba? Pero ayun, hindi ko kayo ma-judge kasi personally, no, as a student din noon, guys, noon. Ngayon hindi na. Diba? Noon, may mga times na attempt din naman si ma'am. Of course, syempre yung gusto ko is to have a beautiful output for the class, no? At magagawa ko yun kung yung tool ko din na gagamitin is appropriate din. Kaya yun, for heavy video editing kasi yung maano ko doon, ginagawa mostly noon. So Adobe Premiere Pro. So I needed that, no, to edit effective or edit better videos. Okay? Pero again, yun nga yung good thing sa Canva because you have your free account. No? Kaya wag na tayo dun sa illegal, guys. No? Dun tayo sa free account because maraming templates readily available for you. Yung na-mention ko kanina, 500,000 plus templates. Ang rami-rami yung pagpipilian, di ba? So, magsawa kayo ng pagpili doon ng templates at elements. Okay? Yan. Let's use it legally. Okay? Wag nagayahin si ma'am before. Ngayon, hindi naman.
Alright, ma'am. Thank you so much for that, ma'am. Talaga naman, maminsan, may nadadaanan talaga tayong mga kunyari post na Canva, ganito lang ang price, pero illegal pala siya. And then, tayo naman ang mga students mostly ay parang, ay sige, avail ko na to since worth it nga. Very helpful ang Canva. And so yun, makinig na lang tayo guys sa suggestion ni ma'am. Mag-stick na lang tayo dun sa free version ng Canva since madami din naman magagawa pa din kahit free version lang yon. And also, I would like to take this opportunity to say and remind dun sa students ng ADNU na meron tayong education, pwede tayong mag-avail ng education account sa Canva by using our Gbox emails lang po. So we have another question po, ma'am, for you. Sabi niya, what are your thoughts on those who shame Canva users by claiming that what they do is not real or designing or creative work?
Okay, maraming ganyan na comments kasi readily available na yung template so hindi ka naman yung nag-design yan. Again, ulitin ko lang yung sabi din dun sa video kanina ng Canva. You can start with scratch, diba? Na-mention ko rin na kahit readily available yung templates, yung element dyan, nasa sa'yo as a designer, how you will be able to create one output, no, na unique. Okay? Hindi naman natin may iwasan na, of course, with time constraints, na kailangan mo yung project bukas na tapos ngayon ka palang gagawang gabi. Bakit on the first place kasi ba't ngayon ka lang gagawa, di ba? No, pero ayun, kung kulang niyo sa time, readily available na naman yun nandyan. So, why not use it? No, kasi again, yun nga yung purpose ng Canva, to be able to use it for non-designers, okay? Anywhere, anytime. Okay? So, hindi naman di ko sila masasabi hindi designers kasi naglagay din sila, pinag-isipan din nila yung ilalagay doon. Aside from the design, may, for example, kung may text or may mga text na ilalagay, yung message din ang ilalagay doon, of course, pinag-isipan din yon. No, part na rin yun ng designs natin kung paano mo rin siya i-arrange, diba? You can edit that. And yung kasali sa mga tips ko, how will you overall, how will you present that to your audience? Is it understandable? Pag-iisipan mo rin yun as a designer. So, mag-i-entail ka din ng effort, ng time, no? At kailangan mo rin pag-aralan kung paano mo siya gagawin. So, designing pa rin yun. Just made easier for non-designers.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for that, Mom Jennifer. And I think that concludes our open forum po. As much as we would like to accommodate all your questions, we unfortunately have to close the open forum. So thank you to everyone who participated. However, rest assured po na we will relay your questions and insights to Ma'am Jennifer if ever man ay dahil nga naubos na tayo ng time for this segment. So thank you so much again, Ma'am Jennifer, for answering.
So, you can email
questions.
me. Actually, I still have an access to my Gbox account kasi was also a formator din in ADLU. So yung J Gavarra at gbox.adlu.edu.ph. Yun, you can email me there. If you have questions na hindi na-erase kanina or if you would like me to comment on your posters, yung group activity na take home natin, pwede po doon sa email ko. I will also,
so
by the way, sorry, Bea. I will also, by the way, if you would like, I'll be sharing resources doon sa Google Classroom natin, how to design effectively or sources ng mga clip arts or whatsoever vectors that you might need in the future. So magpo-post na lang po ako dun sa ating Google Classroom.
Wow, thank you so much for that, Ma'am. Ang dami na naming napulot na insights sa inyong talk and madami pang ibibigay sa atin na si Ma'am na helpful tools daw. So thank you so much for your generosity, Ma'am. So before we officially end our program, we would like to express our sincerest gratitude to our resource speaker for joining us today through the Certificate of Appreciation. Let me read the citation. The Office of Student Affairs at Ateneo de Naga University presents the Certificate of Appreciation to Ms. Jennifer B. Gavarra in grateful recognition of her expertise and service as resource speaker in the alternative class program Easy Design Canva Workshop Part 2 held on April 29, 2022. Given this April 29, 2022 at Ateneo de Naga University, City of Naga, Philippines. Signed by Mr. Rodolfo S.B. Virtus Jr., Director of Student Affairs, Ms. Janet B. Badong Badilla, Executive Director for Mission and Identity, Dr. Alfredo C. Fabay, Vice President for Higher Education, and Father Roberto E. N. Rivera of the Society of Jesus University President. Again, thank you so much to our resource speaker for that very fruitful discussion. Ma'am, may we ask for your final message po for our participants today?
Okay, thank you. Of course, first, thank you to Team OSA for organizing the ACP. Thank you to our student volunteers. Miss Bea and your team, congratulations for the success of the ACP. And a message to the participants, please, huwag kayong mawala ng pag-asa kung at first hindi ganun kaganda yung design niyo. Again, it takes enough time for you to develop the skill. So, yung sabi ko, mag-practice lang na mag-practice, matuto lang ng matuto until you're satisfied with your work. At most importantly, use your skills and your talents and your gift to communicate properly or to be good communicators. Okay? Walang fake news sa atin, guys. Okay? Athenians, walang mag-spread ng fake news. Ano lang, yung totoo lang. Okay? And thank you. Ayan, marami nagti-thank you. Hi again sa aking mga former students. Kung pwede ba ako mag-request ng photo of sa atin?
Yes po, ma'am, of course. So at this point po, everyone, may we request all participants to turn on your cameras. If kaya po, we would appreciate that so we can have the photo opportunity po with our honorable speaker. So please, yung mga kaya pong mag-on ng camera, yan, may nakikita na ako. Hello sa inyo. Yes, please.
Some of you here were my students, former students. Yung iba hindi ko pa kilala. But on kayo ng camera, ipakita nyo ang inyong magaganda at gwapong mga faces.
Alright.
Hello, Kuya Van. Hi, Sir Van. Go, Sir Van. Kaya mo po yan. Okay, thank you, Sir Van.
Thank you so much for that, Sir Van and Ma'am Jennifer.
Ma'am Jean, Ma'am,
Thank you po.
sa group picture namin.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you, Sir Sunny. Hi po.
So, ulitin ha. May part 3.
Sige po, sir.
Oh, okay.
Sa layout.
Hindi pa po ata natin nasasend yung evaluation link, ma'am.
Email.
Hindi pa po. Alright, so let me conclude lang po the event real quick. So just marvelous po, Ma'am Jennifer, again for the last time, and to all our participating students in this ACP webinar, thank you for being and staying with us. Please do not forget to fill out the evaluation form to receive your certificate. The QR code of the evaluation form shall be flashed on the screen and the link posted in the chat box. Please make sure that you fill out the form with the correct information, and please give the organizers a week to issue the certificates. You don't need to email the OSA for this po. Again, ayan po ang ating evaluation link, flash sa screen, and meron din po sa ating chat box. Again, we are grateful for your participation, and we hope to see you all in the future ACP webinars or workshops. Once again, this has been Beatriz Mae Villanueva, your MC, and this ends today's workshop, Easy Design Canva Workshop Part 2. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon or evening. Goodbye!
Jing, bye po. Thank you.
Happy
weekend po. Congratulations, Team OSA.
Thanks, Mama. Jing, okay ba yung design ko?
Ano naman, Sir Jerry?
Grabe talaga si Sir Jerry. Pinakita sa'yo, Ma'am Jing.
Yes po.
Grabe siya,
Sige
no?
niya po talaga. Akala ko seryoso eh.
Yung honey, seryoso talaga yan sa Red Char.
Ay po, missing you all.